As we keep working here, I'm starting to fall a little bit behind now, and that perfect timing that I was experiencing before now, where that queen laid that nice neat little tight brood nest up top for me to take that split away, and it's actually going in and sorting it through into nukes, doing just a nice and proper job of it. Well, that timing has passed now, and that brood up top is starting to hatch on me, and those bees are backfilling that nest, so I'm not getting quite the precise split as I was when I started the whole process. So because of that, we are scrambling just to strip the boxes off these colonies, just to try to preserve as much of that timing, as much of that brood up top as possible. Some hives are still, I still have that proper timing, but I'm getting some of these bigger colonies that I got to get these boxes off and give them new space. Otherwise, they're just going to swarm off on me. So we have another 6 yards today. I should be able to get it through today, get it all off. And then all we have to do is drop cells in as they mature. Oh, and I can't wait to be done this already. We've been working hard. I've been working 15-hour days for the last 2 weeks just to get this job done. This is probably one of the hardest jobs there is on the honey farm, is just going through and managing the split, just managing the strength, setting these hives up for the flow, trying to catch all that momentum these hives are building and slingshot it into the flow. This is the time of year where we have to put the time in, and this is the time of year we have to focus, because this is when we build our crop. If we screw up now, then we got to wait till next year. We got to set these hives up properly. We got to maintain this momentum and just capitalize on everything they got going for us. So I wish I could have seen these hives last fall when I was freaking out all winter, doing my math, figuring all my hives were going to die. These hives just look absolutely terrific. These queens are spectacular, just laying sheets of brood. I mean, they didn't quit laying sheets of brood since the beginning of May, and that's just bought me all these bees right now. A lot of weight's been put on queens on my operation, and for a good purpose. It's because queens is one of the major factors on the productiveness of the colonies within the apiary. At any rate, just parked the truck right in the way of all the bee traffic and starting to get a little buzzy in here, so I better strip off these boxes and get to work already. So I have my crew following behind me in the yards. I didn't bring second honey boxes with me. They're coming through after I'm done, and they're putting seconds on everything they've gone through, which saves me a little bit of work. These hives are pulling off pretty heavy. You can see one of the reasons why I have the foundation on the outside, just from a place to drop that energy when I fall behind and when his resource is coming in so strong. So that's working out well. These hives are filling up with honey, nice and heavy, so I won't have to feed these guys. I'm looking at about a 3-frame brood frame up here. See how they're starting to follow my timing. This mature brood is just hatching, and they're filling it up with honey, and as the brood emerges, they're backfilling it and they're pushing everything down. So I have 3.5 frames that look like this up top. Got to get these boxes off now to be able to capture this the strength that I had these hives set up for me. My bottom box I know has like 4.5 frames of brood down there. My top box has about, you know, 3.5, 2.5. See how they're emerging there and they're backfilling it. I got to get these off right now. So that's why we're stripping these boxes. Just basically getting it done as fast as we can now because we're falling behind. No time for screwing around, making nukes and such. We gotta go. And if it's not evened out, maybe some of this got pushed down and maybe the bottom box is a little bit strong. You know, I'll sort that out the next time through. But the main objective is to capture the split before they swarm off. Just to try to maintain this momentum of this colony so they don't stagger. And I believe I'm right on top of it. As long as I get a good day in today, then everything's going to be just dandy. But it's all about timing. If you notice anything I do throughout this operation, is I base everything on timing. Timing. Trying to set things up and get as much done during those perfect conditions as I possibly can. And when I fall outside of those perfect conditions, I just do the best I can. Just trying to manage the workload and just get her done. Here's a good example. This colony is pretty much a perfect little split. It's got 3 frames of brood in there. And the foundation has been used. Well, they're just starting to build it out here. This is what I'm going after. This colony is a little bit bigger. You'll notice they have drawn out foundation right out to the walls. So they're a bit bigger. So they've had a lot more resource come in because the colony is a lot bigger. So instead of putting it into, you know, plugging out this top box of honey or swarming on me, I've had him build out, use that resource, use those bees, and I've had him build out, yeah, see they're pushing that brood nest down. I've had him build that wax out. Pulling in there. Over here. So this is about 3 frames of brood, 2.5, 3 frames, depending how much they pushed down already. These guys are running about the same. Set them down into the mating yard and drop a cell into them, and come back in 2 weeks and see if they've established a nice little colony.